Before we begin, take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications, because stories like this deserve to be heard. Keanu Reeves has always seemed like a man who carries pain quietly. He never points fingers. He never seeks sympathy. He never tells the world how much he has lost. From childhood abandonment to unimaginable personal tragedy, he endured it all in silence. Fans admire him for his humility, his kindness, and his calm strength. But behind that gentle image lies a wound he never truly healed. A betrayal that hurt him more than death ever could. A life shaped by absence. Keanu Reeves was born on September 2, 1964, in Beirut, Lebanon. At the time, the city was unstable, already moving toward chaos. But chaos had already entered his life in another way. When Keanu was just 3 years old, his father walked away. Samuel Reeves Jr., a Hawaiian Chinese geologist, disappeared without explanation. No goodbye. No promises. Just absence. And that absence became the foundation of Keanu's emotional world. Constant movement, no roots. His mother, Patricia Taylor, did her best to survive. She moved constantly, chasing work and stability. Keanu grew up between Beirut, Sydney, New York, and Toronto. Every move meant a new school. New faces. New goodbyes. By the time he was 10, he had learned not to get attached. Friendships never lasted. Neither did homes. School and silent struggles. School offered no comfort. Keanu struggled with undiagnosed dyslexia. Reading felt like punishment. Writing felt impossible. Teachers mistook his struggle for laziness. Report cards were filled with low grades and disappointment. Between 1979 and 1984, he attended 4 different high schools. By 17, he dropped out completely. He believed he had already failed at life. Searching for a father figure. At home, things were no steadier. His mother remarried several times. Each new stepfather seemed promising at first. Each one left. One of them, filmmaker Paul Aaron, introduced Keanu to theater. It was the first time someone saw potential in him. But that marriage ended too. Keanu learned a painful truth early on. People leave. The last meeting with his father. At 13, Keanu saw his biological father for the last time. They met briefly in Kauai, Hawaii. There were no hugs. No apologies. No attempt to repair the past. The meeting ended as awkwardly as it began. Keanu never saw him again. Never spoke to him again. That door closed forever. Choosing acting over failure. Dropping out of school looked like defeat. But it was. It pushed Keanu toward acting. A world where expression didn't depend on grades. Where emotion mattered more than words on paper. He worked small jobs to survive. At 20, he earned just $200 a week as a youth correspondent for CBC. Behind the scenes, he auditioned relentlessly. Hope was fragile, but it was there. Even his name was a problem. Hollywood didn't make it easy. Agents told him his name sounded too ethnic. Too foreign. Too risky. For 2 years, he auditioned as Casey Reeves. But the name felt fake. Eventually, he rejected the lie. He chose to be himself, even if it meant failure. That decision changed everything. First signs of greatness. In 1987, he landed a role in River's Edge. The film was dark, quiet, and unsettling. Keanu didn't overact. He held emotion back. Critics noticed. They saw sincerity instead of flash. 2 years later came Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. It was goofy, innocent, and wildly successful. Keanu became a star without losing his soul, proving he was more than a joke. He refused to be boxed in. He chose serious roles alongside comedy. Dangerous liaisons. Parenthood. Each performance showed depth. Hollywood began to take him seriously. But fame didn't heal his past. It only amplified his loneliness. Trust was still fragile. Friendship with River Phoenix. Then came River Phoenix. They met on I Love You to Death. They bonded instantly. River wasn't just a co-star. He was family. Keanu rode over 1,300 miles on a motorcycle to convince him to do My Own Private Idaho. Their friendship was rare, honest, deep, a loss that changed him forever. On October 31, 1993, River Phoenix died outside the Viper Room. He was just 23 years old. Keanu was shattered. He didn't speak publicly. He didn't rage. He carried the pain silently. Sandra Bullock later said she could see grief living in his eyes. That sadness never left. Fame, power, and integrity. In 1994, Speed made Keanu an action star. The film earned over $350 million worldwide. Studios expected him to chase sequels, but he surprised everyone. He turned down Speed 2. The script didn't make sense to him. Fox Studios punished him. They quietly blacklisted him for years. The Matrix and personal tragedy. Then came The Matrix in 1999. Keanu was the last choice. But as Neo, he changed cinema forever. The film earned nearly $500 million. That same year, tragedy struck again. His daughter was stillborn. Months later, his partner Jennifer Syme died in a car accident. The pain was unbearable. Yet he endured. The betrayal that broke him. Then came something different. Not death. Not loss. But betrayal. Keanu found himself legally bound to a film he never agreed to. The Watcher. His signature had been forged. By someone he trusted. Director Joe Charbanek. Trapped and humiliated. Keanu couldn't prove the forgery. Refusing the role meant lawsuits. So he agreed. He accepted minimum pay. The film was released in 2000. Critics destroyed it. Rotten Tomatoes scored it at 11%. It damaged his reputation deeply. This wound felt different. Why this hurt more than death? Keanu could forgive abandonment. He could survive grief. He could ignore insults. But betrayal was a choice. A conscious decision to deceive. Someone he trusted took advantage of him. That broke something inside him. For years, he stayed silent. But he never forgot. Redemption through John Wick. By the 2000s, many thought he was finished. Then John Wick arrived in 2014. A small film with a simple story. But it resonated deeply. The grief felt real. The silence felt familiar. Audiences returned. The franchise crossed $1 billion worldwide. Keanu rose again, silence in the face of cruelty. In 2022, Matthew Perry made a cruel comment about Keanu. Fans were furious. Keanu said nothing. He never defended himself. He never attacked back. That silence was intentional. But privately, he reflected. At 60, he finally spoke the truth. About the one man he could not forgive. The final truth. It wasn't his father. It wasn't the critics. It wasn't fame or tragedy. It was betrayal by a trusted friend. Joe Charbanek. The man who forged his name. At 60, Keanu admitted it openly. Some wounds don't fade. What do you think? Was betrayal worse than all his losses?